What's going on, guys? Zuko back with another Shadowlands video. Wait, Shadowlands? Dragonflight? Oh my god, Dragonflight video. PTSD from that. I hope you guys are doing well. Listen, I want to talk about Mythic dungeon tools today. Now, this is an add-on that you can get for WoW, and if you guys don't know about it, I'm going to explain it today. So grab your coffees and let's talk about it. I want to talk exactly about what it does. And this is just going to be an introduction video to Mythic dungeon tools. This is not going to be like an expert guide or anything. I'm going to do an introduction to the add-on, and then I'm going to walk you through like an Alegth'ar Academy dungeon and how I might end up using the add-on. Okay, so those are the things we're going to tackle in today's video. So if you go to your Curse Forge, you can just download this and it'll end up in your add-ons page, and it is simply called Mythic Dungeon Tools right here. If you search it on Curse Forge, it'll be there. When you're in the game, you can just type /MDT and it will come up, and it will look something like this. So this, for some people, I know this is an intimidating program, so I really want to help to dispel some of the intimidation going on with this program for you. So if you've never used this before and you're kind of not sure why it exists, or you're scared to use it, you've heard about people using it and you're not really sure, get into this video and I'm going to help you explain what's going on here. So a couple things right off the bat. In the top left corner, there's all the dungeons for this season right now. Court of Stars, Halls of Valor, it shows them all. And what it shows you is every enemy that's here. The primary purpose of people using Mythic Dungeon Tools is to calculate your percentage of trash. And you could do that by grabbing enemies and putting them into a pull, and then you add another pull, and you go, here's pull 2, and then you can see on the right-hand side, this is starting to add up our overall percentage. This is what we're trying to, we have to get to 100% on the minions that we kill in each dungeon, right? This is the trash count that we're calculating. So that is how that works. Now, what this is primarily used for is for calculating a route through the dungeon. So now, let me go look at Alegth'ar Academy. This is the one that we're going to look at today. I've already kind of set this up partially. This is what you're going to often see when you import somebody's build. And you're like, holy crap, I don't understand what's going on here. That's great. We're going to walk through it, okay? First and foremost, all the dungeons are up here. Okay, you can see them there. And you can see the different sections of them. Here's the pitch, which is the bird boss on Alegth'ar Academy. You can also just use the arrows. The arrows work really well as well. It's the same thing, okay? So that's how you navigate. You go through the arrows here, or you can look at the drop-down menu here and go back and forth from wherever you want. Now, there's also tools. You can draw lines with arrows, and you can undo that as well. Oh, why isn't that? No. Wait. There we go. I don't know why. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So you can draw lines. You can draw freehand if you want to, okay? Hopefully that under there. You can put little messages here, and I put a bunch of these throughout this little area here. I'll get to those in a second, but you can put little messages. That looks like this. You insert a note, you click it, you click on the note, you write Zuko is a turd, whatever you want to write, and then you can put it in different spots to help explain what's going on in that spot. For example, over here I put kick the unruly textbooks cast, and I'll talk about that in a second. So there's lots of functionality here. It's kind of like MS Paint or whatever. You can use it to do all kinds of stuff. You can move objects. You can do those nodes. You can draw arrows. You can just draw lines. You can increase brush size. A lot of really cool things you can do here. And then you can erase stuff. You can delete all your drawings. The drawings and stuff can help you understand exactly where you want to go throughout the dungeon. And you can help your friends understand that as well. So that's the stuff up there. On the right-hand side here, you can obviously name and rename your thing. You can save different routes. This is what I've called the tree boss first route, okay? You can also export your route and import other routes. So if I hit export, it brings up the entire string of this route, and I can put this in like Wago, or what I'm going to end up doing is put this on my Discord. I'm going to make a channel just for routes, and I'm going to put these, I'm going to paste the whole string in the Discord channel. Just in that one little channel. And then if you want to find the Alegth'ar Academy one, you can go there, you can copy paste the string that I put on Discord, and then you can go to your MDT and import my string. You just paste it in there and you go import, and it'll work. Okay, you'll get this whole thing. Okay, what I plan on doing is doing one of these MDTs hopefully for every dungeon for you guys, so you can have a really good explanation of what to do if you're really confused. This add-on is really, really good for people who want to have a plan. And one thing that I'm going to tell you right out of the gates, if you get nothing else out of this video, this is one thing that's important that you can understand, is that doing this kind of extra planning helps you get like a bird's eye view on the entire dungeon and helps you to just mentally understand in your mind what you're going to be doing. And that is a really big deal. So, for example, I'll just show you really quickly. I can say to myself, okay, we're going to start here. I'm going to grab my haste buff, like right here. And then this note says, start on the tree boss first. What does this note say? Be careful about the spacing here. Watch for the second pack of skitterflies patrolling. So we're going to go up here. We're going to start over here. I can see pull number 1 is in purple. I look for purple. Here's pull number 1 right here. These little dudes. I don't know why it says 4 there. It shouldn't say 4. Anyway, it doesn't matter. That's definitely messed up. I don't know why this is 1. But you can see the 6 skitterflies over here are the first pull. So I'm going to go over here. We're going to kill those 6 skitterflies. We're going to be very careful about our spacing. Then number 2 is a really big pull. Number 3 is a smaller pull. Then we do the boss. Then we go up the pitch. We're going this way. This is our 4th pull right here. This is the big sentry mini boss. Then we do our 5th pull, which is all 3 of the bird packs that are coming in. Then we kill the bird boss. Then there's a note here. It says path back towards the tree boss area. Start the trash towards Veximus. So what I'm saying here is don't go left here. Don't go to this platform. We're never pulling this trash. Instead, you're going to actually path back this way through the tree boss area that you already killed, and you're going to start on the Veximus trash this way. This says come back to do this pack later. This is what I'm saying right now. Then you do this trash all the way up to Veximus. You skip these 2 little guys here. This is your 7th pull. Then your 8th pull is either this pack or this pack, and then you want to combine. So you just say do this pack first, then do a double pull. Don't do all 3 of these at the same time. You can if you're really coordinated, but generally speaking, don't do that because there's so many of these textbook guys in here, and they're going to wreck you, okay? Pull, 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 kill the boss. Then we're going to travel back the way we came and start the last couple of pulls. Number 10 will be right up the hill here. All these Echo Knight, Dragon King guys. 10, 11, don't pull these 3, and then 12, and that's your full percentage before you get to the last boss. So now, I've walked you through all that really, really quickly to say, mentally, you now understand what we're doing with Alegth'ar Academy. When you get into this dungeon with your team, you know we're going to the tree boss. I'm not even going to look to the left here, to all these little arcane elemental good dudes here. I'm not even looking at them because I know we're coming back to them. I know we're not pulling this trash, and there's a reason for that. I'll get into it in a minute. But I know which direction I'm going. I know exactly which packs I'm going to be killing and in which order. I know everything. I know we're pathing back through here. Then we're going up this way. Then we're pathing back this way. Again, this is not probably going to be the most efficient route. This is just something I thought up in my head. So I'm just explaining this to you. This isn't necessarily the most efficient thing to do. I'm going to potentially change this route later. But I think it's really important just to recognize the mental bonus that you get from having a really clear, defined plan of what you're going to do when you get into the dungeons. Because sometimes you'll get into these dungeons and it'll be like, I'm standing here waiting for the tank to decide if we're going this way or if we're going this way. The advantage to knowing everything is you can say, okay, we're going to pull these 3 skitterflies first. Then we're going to hopefully wait for these patrolling skitterflies to come around, and we're going to pull them as well. We're going to have to deal with them because they're very dangerous enemies. I'm not going to blow all my cooldowns. I'm a Shadow Priest. I have my 1-minute cooldowns. I think we're going to kill these skitterflies in less than a minute. So I'm going to hold Dark Ascension, and I'm going to hold Mindbender. Okay, I'm going to hold those 2 cooldowns because I know the next pack coming up is all of this crap put together. And if I use my cooldowns there, I will absolutely blast damage. So getting this route understood in your mind will help you also to pre-plan your abilities. So you can blow your cooldown on the 2nd pack, then you won't have it on the 3rd pack, then you will have it on the boss fight. You see what I'm saying there? You can start to understand how to plan things a little bit better. Instead of just running in and winging it and being like, I don't know what the tank's going to pull, so I don't know if I should blow my cooldowns or not. It's just important to understand the overall plan that's going forward. Let's go to the right side of the screen here for a second. Of course, this is all the different trash pulls that we're going to be doing, and it makes up our count. You can see the count bar here. It's at 100%. We've got 100%. You can see 6% here, up to 18, 24, 28. 41, 49, 59, 60, 70, 85. It just continuously shows you what these are worth and what they're counting up to. You can change this by like clicking on enemies. So I just removed that from the last pull. I'm going to add it again. Okay. But now if I remove this from the last pull, now we're only at 96%. You can see the bar right here, 96%. So I need to have these last 3 to get that final count. So you can fiddle with this in other dungeons, right? Where you're like, I don't really know what I want to pull for the Halls of Valor. Like, I'm just not really sure. Maybe we should pull a certain way. Maybe we can, get away with pulling XYZ. This, you start up here in the top, I think, right? Yeah, you summon here, and you have to kill all this stuff. Then you get to decide, like, do I want to kill this guard right away? I'm going to have to probably kill these guys, and then we're going to work away. You can start to understand exactly what will give you the perfect percentage, and then you can work kind of around that, okay? That's one cool thing about it. Also, there's the dungeon level here. I'm setting it at level 10 right now. This is Mythic plus level 10. You can go all the way up to 35 if you want. It's pretty crazy. But I'm just settling at 10. Then there's the affix. One really cool thing about this program is that if I switch it to this, MDT knows which affixes are supposed to be on right now. And it'll go, you have the wrong affixes. It's not Bursting Grievous. Let me switch it for you. Click this little button and it goes, okay, here you go. Back to Quaking, Raging, Fortified. So it knows which affixes are supposed to be on for this week and for next week and all the weeks to come. So it can help you out with that, which is really cool. Again, finally, you can import, export stuff over here. Okay? Let me talk about another couple of really cool functions about this. You can right-click on the enemies, and it will bring up their particular stuff. So there's a Spellbound Scepter. That guy's actually useless. Let's look at the books. Unruly Textbook gives you the little thing here. It tells you what it can be affected by. So this thing can be blinded or disoriented. It can be feared. It can be incapped. It can be rooted, and it can be silenced. So that's really, really good for us. Good information for me to know that I can use my silence as a Shadow Priest to stop this guy, because my silence doesn't work on some enemies. Other big things to know. The Monotonous Lecture. This thing here, you can see what the actual cast spells of the enemies are, and you can see how much damage they do as well. But just remember that you need to kick Monotonous Lecture. And, of course, I left a note here that says, by the way, kick Unruly Textbook cast. Sorry, that is the Monotonous Lecture. Oops, I messed that up. I've clicked on the wrong thing. It's this one here. There we go. Now, you can right-click on enemies. You can put notes down. You can also left-click to add enemies into these trash pulls. So this is how you do this. Let's say I want to add another pull just for fun. I click here and I go add pull. This is my pull number 13. And then I click on whatever I want to add it to the pull. There's 13. I'm going to add it in. We're going to add all this into 13. There's another pull that I've just added. Now we're 23% over. But you see what I'm saying? It's that easy. It's as easy as just clicking on enemies to add them in and to click on them to get rid of them as well. That's how easy it is to do that, okay? If you don't want this pull to be here, just right-click it and hit delete. And there you go. Now you have your pulls that we've had. This automatically color codes stuff for you, so you can kind of keep it fresh in your brain. And you can see that the color codes and the numbers kind of correspond, right? So 1 is this first one. You can see that it's stretching over here because of the patrolling skitterflies. 2 stretches all the way over here, then 3. It's just kind of how I've grouped them up. But you can fiddle around with this and just figure out exactly what you want to do. But it's as easy as just left-clicking something, and it will add it into whatever you're clicked on right now. So right now I'm clicked on pull 12. So if I click on other enemies, it's going to add them into pull 12. So I don't want to do that. I'd want to add an entirely new pull in order to move stuff on them, which is really, really cool. So, and then of course you can do the arrows like I was talking about to help your team. Now this is primarily for like if you're running with a team of people and you're like, this is not something that pugs are likely going to like pick up for you. This is something like either to do for yourself, just to plan for yourself, to have a personal bird's eye view of what's going on, to know exactly where we're heading and how everything's going to work out, to leave yourself little notes to say, remember to kick this, watch out for your spacing, yada, yada, yada. Remembering all that stuff. Also, it can be for your team if you do have a team that you're working with, and they'll be able to look at the guide that you have figured out and go, okay, I like this route. This is pretty good. Now, once again, let's do a new one. Let's go a new route here. We're going to go tree boss. Okay. Create. Now, it gets rid of all my lines. It gets rid of my pulls. We're going to do this really quickly, okay? So once again, we start here, and this time we're going to get our buffs, and we're going to go this way. That's what I want us to do. So we're not going to go, well, I'm not going to write another, but I'm just going to put a little note here that says start start this way. Okay, accept. There we go. Got my note. Oh, didn't go through. I didn't hit the there we go. You gotta hit accept. There we go. So now we start this way. So now we've got our buffs. We're not going tree boss way. We're going this way this time. So now I go first pull, boom, boom. I want to get these together on the first pull. Most efficient way to do that. Add to the next pull. We're gonna go here and here and here. We're not gonna pull these two. Okay, that's pull number 2. Pull number 3 is gonna be the same. We're gonna pull that. Pull number 4 is gonna be all these put together. Be very careful about this. This is a very nasty pull. Okay. That's it. Pull number 5 is now going to be very different, right? So now we're moving up the bridge. That's pull 5. We're not going to drag those into the next thing. Pull 6 is just going to be this plus this. We're going to ignore all these guys on the outside if possible. Again, it's very, very careful about your spacing. I can say that once again here. Put a little note. Watch. Why doesn't it? Watch your spacing. Okay. Now you can see we have 37% of the dungeon already. We're going to go to the pitch. Always remember, add pull for the mini boss. That's number 7. Add another pull here. This is going to be number 8. This is always going to be basically the same. Okay. There we go. Then we're going to kill the bird boss. Then we're going to come back down. We're going to go south this time. This is the very normal route. Now we're on the tree boss. Pull 9 is going to be these first 3 skitterbots alone. Very much realistic. It's going to be alone. But let's also add in the second skitterbot. So once again, it's going to be a similar idea. That's number 9. Number 10 is going to be this pull right here. And I would like to do more, but let's just say then we're going to do pull 11 and we're going to do pull 12. We're going to separate them. I'd prefer not to, but let's just pretend like that's how it's going to go. Okay, so you do 10, 11, 12. You do the tree boss. We're at 78% for our count here. Then you're going to work your way up the stairs. Remember, there's 2 guys that are over here kind of just chilling. We don't really want to aggro them. We're going to go up the one set of stairs and up the next set of stairs. You're going to pull these 5 together. This is a good way to do it. Watch out for the whirlwinds, right? Very, very careful with the whirlwinds. Melee, watch out for whirlwinds. Whirlwinds, okay? Very, very careful there. Okay, now we've got 87% on our count. So what are we going to grab? We can grab on our next pull. Let's just try experimenting here. Let's grab these 3 plus these 3. That's 98% plus these 3. Now we're going to be over by a little bit, but we don't end up aggroing any of these guys, which is nice. So we're going to pull all 3 of these, and I'm going to put another note here. I'm going to write it. Oops. Right note here. There we go. Pull these packs into doorway, so that you get them away from these other guys. So very, very important. And then these guys have an ability called Astral Bomb. And if you remember this, the caster embeds an Astral Bomb in a player that explodes after inflicting 53,000 arcane damage to all players within 6 stars. This also hurts the enemies as well. It hurts these guys. Oops. Or is it Astral? Yeah, it's not Whirlwind. Yeah. So I'm going to put one more note here that says, drop astral bombs on enemies. In case you don't know that. Okay, drop astral. So you get an astral bomb circle around you, drop it here. Now, our percent is done. We're over by a little bit, so it's a little inefficient, but that's okay. The pathing is very efficient this time. We're just moving up here to the left. Let's follow it through. Pack number 1 is here. Pack 2, pack 3, pack 4. We kill the boss. Pack 5, pack 6 on the way to our mini boss. There's our mini boss. Pack 7, pack 8. Then we do bird boss. Then we go down. Pack 9 is the skitter flies. 10 is these guys. 11, 12. Then we do the boss. Then we've got pack 13, pack 14. Then we have the final boss. That's it. So there's another different route for you. So I've got 2, non-tree boss, and I've got tree boss. And I can just jump between the 2 of them. Pretty simple. Pretty easy stuff. You can pick whichever one you like better. And then I have all these little notes that are just there to help you as well. So that is the gist of it. That's the whole thing right there, guys. This is MDT. And again, why do you want to use this? Well, if you have a team that you're working with and they're not as familiar with the dungeons, you can really help them with this. And you could take 5 minutes at the start of your key and just say, okay, guys, I'm sharing my screen on Discord. Everybody watch me. Or get everybody to have MDT in their add-ons, and then they can all import this build into their MDT, and you can all watch at the exact same time. And you go, okay, guys, here's what we're going to do. We're going to pull these 6 together. I want you to blow all your cooldowns here. Let's blow all of our 1-minute cooldowns here, okay? If you have a 3-minute cooldown as well, maybe blow it. And then pack number 2, we're going to be a little bit light on damage, but that's okay. Pack number 3 and 4, we can blow all our cooldowns again right before the boss, yada, yada. You see what I'm saying? You can walk them through the dungeon and say, when we get to pack 5, don't blow your cooldowns. Pack 6, blow your DPS cooldowns. Pack 7, whatever. Pack 8 is also whatever. Save your cooldowns. Pack 8, don't blow anything. Save them for the boss. Then we kill the boss. Pack 10, blow your cooldowns on the Skitterflies. Please, please, please. Then pack... Sorry, this is pack 9. Then pack 10 is, of course, blue, and 11. Blow your cooldowns as much as you can there. But it's important that you can say those things. Like, use your cooldowns here. Don't use your cooldowns here. That's a waste. Make sure you kick stuff here. Kick the books when you're here. Use your stuff here. Drop the astral bombs on the enemies. Maybe they don't know about that. That's something you can look up because you can right-click on these guys. You can know that they've got astral bombs, right? Which is very, very, very cool. So use this for your team to help them understand what you want to accomplish and make it very, very, very clear what route you're taking. Or use it for your personal satisfaction of just knowing, having this bird's eye view of being like, okay, I know exactly where we're going next, and I know exactly when I'm going to use my cooldowns to help us be successful in this key. That's what this is for. Don't be intimidated, guys. Get in here, start drawing some lines all over the place. Hopefully I can undo that. Start clicking on mobs, coming up with routes of your own. Maybe there's some better way to do this. The Alegth'ar Academy dungeon is fairly straightforward, but there is 2 different routes. So get in here and figure it out, and let me know what you think in those comments down below. This is just an introduction video to MDT. I am going to be trying to do some guides, and if you want me to do guides for the dungeons, MDT guides for the dungeons, please let me know in the comments down below. This is probably not something that I'm going to do unless I see a bunch of people asking for it. Because I've heard people talking about this program, but nobody's really just straight up asked me to make guides for them. So if you want me to make guides like this and post them in the Discord, let me know in the comments down below, and I will be glad to do that for you. Okay? Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you all. I'll see you in the next one.